Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, first part of it, we are heading out with the tractor and sprayer to our recently planted maize silage, or what will be maize silage crop. So we're heading out to the maize to give it a spray. We have a weed spray, and we also have there's a nutrient spray in there as well. So heading out to put it on. We are reliably informed that we are pretty new to growing maize silage, but we are reliably informed that you can spray it at quite an early stage, drive over the plant, and the plant will stand up and recover, no issues at all. So we're hoping that's true. So because we're going to be in the field now in a few minutes, and we'll be driving over it. So yeah, just pulling up here to the field, and the first thing I see is a lot of cars parked here, and one of them is it blocking me from getting in? No, I think we can still get in. Just about. There's not. No, he's alright. I thought pulling up there that he was going to be blocking us from getting in, but no, we're okay. So yeah, we'll get into position here, and when I get up and spraying, I'll turn you back on, and we'll get out at some point also and have a little look at the actual crop itself. But I can see nice long lines and rows, and yeah, it looks to be doing quite nicely. Anyway, we'll get up and spraying, and I'll be back to you in a moment. Alright, we're progressing along quite nicely across the field. Just seeing different small weeds there coming up through it. There's a couple of, you can see a few docks here and there, and we also then see the likes of in this area here. There's a few sporadic potatoes that have struck. There was seed potatoes in this a couple of years back, and yeah, you can see them just coming up in this area here. And there's a couple of other places similar to this, but as far as I know, I think the sprays that I have will help to knock them back. Look, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't anyway. From memory, I think last year this field was also in maize, and there was a few through it then, but it never made much difference. But yeah, we'll get them, just get it all sprayed and get as much of the weeds killed as possible. Just looking to see, we have 140 litres of water stroke spray left, and we're coming well into the short ground. There's only a little bit left, so I think we should have enough. It's always a worry that you'll run out near the end, and you don't want skimping too much on it, or having to reduce the rate down to get it to do. You want to try and have it as accurate as possible, but I think we're pretty good. Right, so a quick look at the actual plants. You can see them there coming up quite nicely. I do see some that is just coming up. See them here just coming up over ground. So yeah, seed might be a little bit deeper in a couple of areas than others, I suppose, just whatever way the soil was at that time. But there's some of them is just coming up over ground. But yeah, I suppose this here would be something like the normal size of them, just along there. But yeah, coming up well. But you can see here's the kind of little weeds here in between that we just need to kill, and I suppose we get them killed now. By the time we get on, it gets up another bit, it'll start to cover it in, I suppose, in about 6 weeks time, and it'll not matter there at that stage if there is a wee bit of if the weeds start to come, you know, it'll be smothered out for light, and they'll die off. So yeah, good to have it sprayed. Needs rain, needs some rain, because it is it burns hard. The other thing I wanted to ask was what's people's opinions on pickups? I'm thinking about changing my Jeep. I've an 08 Land Cruiser. I've had it for probably 8 or 9 years, and kind of taking a notion for a pickup. Obviously not just like a two-door, like a four-seat of cab type. You know, back doors, back seats in it. So yeah, what's people's thoughts on it? We're going to probably get something around 5 years old and around that, with not big miles on it or kilometres. I'm thinking Hilux or maybe an Amarok. But there is other players out there in the market too. Mitsubishis, you've got Isuzus, and you have Nissans. So just wondering what people's thoughts on those are. Want something comfortable to sit in, you know, because I'm kind of used to sitting in the Land Cruiser, and they're alright, they're a wee bit bumpy, but they are comfortable enough Jeep to drive. But I want something comfortable, decent enough power in it for towing the trailer or anything like that, and you know, reliable as well. So, you know, list of all the usual stuff, and good enough space inside. I don't want one like this pokey and small. I'm a big fella. I don't want one that when you're sitting in it, you feel like you're claustrophobic in it. You know, we need plenty of leg room in it as well. So yeah, what's people's thoughts on them, on all those, and what do you think? What do you think would be the best one to go for? What do you think might suit me the most? Because I haven't really looked into it yet. It's only just something I'm thinking of doing over the next maybe weeks or so, is to start to do something about it. So let me know your thoughts on that. It'll be interesting to see. Alright, so we're just back in the beef shed here. I'm just after doing a wee bit of feeding, and I'm going to show you just what beef cattle we've left. We haven't that many left. We're well emptied out at this stage. We've been slaughtering every week over the last 3 months, I suppose. Just a steady number of cattle, more or less. So we're well down in numbers, but we have got a batch of bulls here that still, these would have been the lesser of the bulls that was left, the ones that would have needed most time. Some of them are actually out of our own herd. There's a couple of guys here, the two here, all out of our own herd. I think that the Charlie down the very bottom, the yellowy Charlie, and I think there might be one or two. I think is he out of my herd? I heard, yes, and this one here is, and this one here is. So there's a few in this pen here even as well. But they've done well, but there has been a bit of a mix. You know, they would have been back a little bit, just a wee bit slower to come in than the other ones that was there with them. This guy here was, just looking at him, he was a wee bit smaller than the rest. He was probably one of the last calves born of that year, and you know, it just took him a wee bit longer to finish. But yeah, look, overall, some nice bulls still to go there. We have got some going tomorrow. I think there's 6 going tomorrow, and hopefully we can try and get the rest of the bulls away next week. Over the other side, we have some heifers here, kind of a mix then as well. 2 here, they would have been bought in as calves, reared calves. We would have fed the milk replacer here on the farm, and then we've took them to where they are. So they're a wee bit smaller than the other cattle, as you can see, but again, they've done all right. They wouldn't have cost much money at the time, and they'll definitely leave a profit at the prices that we're getting. But yeah, again, just a little bit of a mix. Some of the lesser heifers that's left over, and then in this pen there's 5 cull cows. Again, a bit of a mix. Some of them proved not to be in calf. This girl here had a calf, had no milk, so the calf was taken off, or the calf was fed milk, then milk replacer, and he's in with our reared calves for this here. So there's a couple of them like that. There was another one early on, she's actually slaughtered, that was in the same boat, and the other girl in the back here, the red whitehead, she had a calf and didn't lose the calf, she killed the calf. That's a whole other story we'll do in the calving update video. But she had a mishap whilst calving, we'll say for the minute. And this is a bull here that was bought in, who, very quiet bull, and he's just in beefing along with them. He doesn't even jump on the heifers, near the cows, sorry, he's feeding along with them. But yeah, that's kind of what's left. There's a couple of bullocks and bulls in the bottom shed as well, and some bulls that we bought in as well recently enough over the last number of weeks. Price, can't complain with the price this year. Beef prices have been phenomenal, just unbelievable. We've been selling them out at top price, which is great. The downside of it is, of course, because these things always have a downside. Even though we've been selling out at great money, any cattle then we've had to buy is crazy money. So the likes of when we let our young stock out we've a batch of heifers outside, batch of bulls outside, we needed to buy a few head for each batch just to bring the numbers up to what we needed, and crazy money, just crazy money. They're just not even store cattle, but just those cattle around 400 kilos, 450 kilos that we were putting out to grass were just crazy money. So that's the downside of it. The other downside of it was then we were hoping to, as we were selling out the last of these cattle, we were hoping to purchase in 25 bulls, feed them over the summer, keep them inside the whole summer, feed them over the summer, and then have them ready for factory around end of September time, early October. Can't buy them, just too dear. Last number of weeks we have bought some, but few and far between. Very hard to just pick them up. Find that you're trying to compete with the live export market, and can't do it. Just can't do it. The money that they're given 5 up to 6 euros a kilo for cattle in the live export market, and maybe slightly above if they're the right animals, and you just can't compete with that. You know, we can't give that kind of money, feed them over the summer, and then try and sell them, and then you don't know in the end of September or early October what the price is going to be. At that stage they could be pulled back the price. So we have some bought, we have a few bought in that weren't at too bad of money, so we'll see. We'll unless we can get some more at a reasonable kind of price, I think that's all we'll be buying. But that's the downside of it. A lot of money stuck in cattle now, you know, and when you have any numbers of cattle, you're gonna have losses. You're gonna have, you know, animals get sick, you know, they get lame, things happen to them, you lose them, and the way it is now, a loss of an animal is a lot of money. And I know it's all part and parcel of it, but it's costing a lot of money now compared to what it was a couple of years ago. So that's kind of where we are with the cattle that's inside. So as I say, six of the bulls going tomorrow, and hopefully the rest, and then more or less will be gone next week, and we can start to work then on the heifers and the cows. So yeah, that's just a small update on the cattle that's inside at the moment. Alright, so a little bit of a different job going on now at the minute. We're doing a bit of a tidy up here of a dirty corner just out past the workshop and out in the field. There was a row of cars parked here, a van that was here in the corner, and then another car over here in the ditch, and then there's a pile of sticks as well, and different bits and pieces of scrap and various stuff that we don't need. So it's a tidy up job on this dirty corner. Yeah, so some of the cars, well, the white one is definitely going for scrap. There's an old van here. I'll actually, whilst I'm here beside it, I'll drive out and show it to you. The van was a donor van for parts, just bits and pieces for Ivorel traffic, the same as it, and there's still plenty of bits and pieces on it and in it, and there's been plenty of bits taken off it over the years, but we're going to hold on to it. I know there's not much, it's getting down to kind of like a shell state, but there's bits and pieces of the interior on the dash that I'll be able to take out of my own van. There's a couple of the wee vents on my van is broken, they're perfect in it, so we'll take them out of it and put them into it, and we're going to leave it. We're going to keep the van. The van actually has doors in the back of it, and we can use it for storing a few bits and pieces, you know. So you can send it for scrap, and we can do at any point, but think we'll just maybe pull it in tight against the shed here or along the ditch, and we can throw a few bits and pieces of something into it. There's a full set of doors in the back of it, so it's fully enclosed. So if you want to store something or throw something into it even temporarily, swing the doors open, put it into it, close it up, and then you can go get it whenever you want. So yeah, that's I think what we'll do with that. Another car then over here. It's Dad has a Toyota Carina E, and it's a petrol one that the dad's one's a diesel one. This one's an old petrol one, and it's basically a donut car. A lot of good panels on it, parts, good interior in it, and there's a good set of alloy wheels on it. So there's plenty of bits and pieces on it that he's going to use in one of his own car for his own car. So yeah, that is that. Another car that was there is a Toyota Carina 2, which we'll have a look at in a while. Dad was going to try and start it. It hasn't been going in many years. We're just going to try and start it for the hell of it. It was our old family car from it was purchased in 1987, and it was the family car for about 10-15 years it was being driven for. So yeah, it's been around a while, so it'll be interesting to see if it starts. And then there's an old Renault 19 here in the bushes that we are going to put the forks in through the window of now in a second and move it out of there because it's going to scrap. Again, it was a run around for a time, and then it just got on a bit in age. The engine was sold in out of it to somebody looking for something out of it, and it's kind of been laying there now for a number of years. So time to get it moved as well. And it's the first thing we're going to do now. We're going to move it out of there. So yeah, a bit of a scrapyard going on here at the minute, but it's just time to get this area nicely tidied up. And as I say, there's not all sure what all's in this here, bunch of nettles and thistles and weeds, but there's definitely some sticks, and there is, I see a steel cage there as well. So we'll see what all's in there, and we will be doing a bit of digger work and just scraping it all down, clearing it all down and tidying it up, either later on this evening or first thing in the morning. So yeah, we should have it looking a little bit better by the time we're finished, I hope. Anyway, we're going to move this car first. See how easily will we get through the glass? Very easily is the answer to that. Briars has quite a good grip on it, so they have, and we're not very balanced here and how we're lifting it. As you can see, it's going to fall of it. So we have it, it's in it. Hope I don't scrape the bonnet. They can go there for now. Alright, so there's the old 19. Quick look around it. Who remembers these on the road? Well, I certainly do. Actually weren't a bad car. It's 1.4. And it's all there, like, well, it's not all there. The engine's gone out of it. The damage on the front, I think both Ben and Laura, my brother and sister, both learned to drive in this. And as far as I can remember, one of them hit. I'm not sure what they hit. Don't harm the car, don't know harm anything else anyway. But yeah, if the box have done damage to the roof. There was a spoiler on it. It was a nice looking car, this. How did the ivy start growing inside the cow? Up through the door, up through the doors, and grew along there. Yeah, what kind of radio was in it? That's one of the old Philips. A lot of the Renault radios were all Philips radios. And that's the type the buttons all fell off. Nothing in there anyway. Little prayer. Yeah. So that's it. That is Renault 19. I kind of was keeping, there would be bits and pieces. I have a Renault 19 16 valve in 1991 one. They were like a 1.8 sporty kind of a car, and there was bits and pieces that is similar. The likes of door handles is pretty much the same, and there is certain things inside on the dash was the same, but you know, when are you ever going to need it? Bonnet is closed on it. Yeah, so that's it. She's going for scrap. If anybody wants any bits of it, you'd want to let us know pretty quickly, because it's going very, very soon. So that's a little bit tidier and a better job. It was already stoned, we didn't have to stone any of it, but it's just the way the weeds that grew up over it over the last number of years. Things we found: a ransom plough, an old ransom plough, used to be ours from many years ago, loader brackets for the 2130, an old horse-drawn pin harrow, wooden, which has definitely seen better days, but it was in there as well. Yeah, and a pile of firewood that was there, that it wasn't nearly as big as what I thought it might be. So that's it. Bit clean and done, and a little bit better, and we can start to park more rubbish in here and get the cycle to start all over again. That's it for today's video. Mix of just all different things that we were doing this week. I just took you along for the look-see until next week. No idea what we're going to be videoing, but we'll get something along the way. Until then, have a good weekend, take care, and we'll see you next week.